Hello everyone. Let us now discuss how can we solve this problem. Minimum operations to make array values equal to k. So we are going with an integer array nums and an integer k. An integer h is called valid if all values in the array that are strictly greater than h are identical. For example, if nums is equal to 10, 8, 10, 8, a valid integer is h is equal to 9 because all nums of I are greater than 9 are equal to 10, but 5 is not valid integer. So you are allowed to perform the following operation on nums. Select an integer h that is valid for the current values in nums. For each index I, where nums I is greater than h, set nums I to h. So if I clearly explain you what is given in the question, like if I am having 5, 5, 2, 2 again, and then 1. Now, what will be my valid integer? Something like here, let me take whether, let me see that, yes. Here, I have 1 2 2 5, right? Now, 4 can be a valid integer, 3 can be a valid integer, and also 2 can be a valid integer, but 1 is not a valid integer. Let us see why and how. If I take 3, what are the elements greater than 3? 4 and 5. That's it. In this array, I doesn't have elements greater than 5. So 4 is also not present, but only element which is present is 5, and they are identical. All the elements which are greater than h are identical. So if I select 3 as h, then it is a valid integer. Now let me select 4 as h. If I select 4 as h, greater than 4 is 5, and all the elements which are greater than 4 are present in the array and they are identical. That means 5 and 5, they are identical. So 4 is a valid integer. Let us see why 2 is also a valid integer. Strictly greater than 2 are 3, 4 and 5. That's it. There is nothing greater than 5 in our array. So greater than 2 is 3, 4 and 5, but we don't have any 3 and 4. So 5 are the elements and they are identical. So 2 is a valid integer. Let us now see why 1 is not a valid integer. For 1, greater than 1 are 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here if you see, 2 are also present, 5 are also present. My intuition or my condition is 1 which are greater than the valid integer or need to be identical. That means there should be only one integer greater than the selected valid integer. If not, it will be marked as not a valid integer. Now, what is the condition we need to do and what is given in the question? First thing, first thing, select h, select or a valid integer, and make all elements greater than h to h, right? So what are they asked with? And after that, this is one operation. Return number of operations to make array elements equal to k. So we are having these integers 5 2 5 4 5. If I write them, I have 2, I have 4 and I have 5. 5 for something like 3 times. Yes. Now my goal is I need to make k is equal to 2. That means all the elements need to be changed to 2. So simply the first thing I did is just sorting the array. Now I have k is equal to 2. Now let us see what is the element that I can take. Now I can take 4 because after only taking 4, I have identical elements of 5. So if I select 4, as they said, select an integer h, make all elements greater than h to h. So I am selecting h as 4 and making all the elements greater than h to change it to h. So first 2 and then 4, and then these elements are changed to 4, 4 and then 4. Now let us see all these elements up to no, but let me tell you what is the next element that I can pick. I can only pick 2, right? So if I select 2 as here I did one operation, let me not forget to count. So one operation, now I am selecting 2. So 2 will be the same, and I am changing the elements which are get greater than 2 to 2, right? 2 for 5 times. So the elements are now containing only 2, and the number of operations I took is only 2. So I'll return 2 there. But here I have k is equal to 1. We might think that k need to be there in the array to make array elements equal to k. But let me say it is not always true. As I said, h can be lesser than the next element. That means it can also be not the element which is present in the array. Let me tell you how we can solve this. 3, 5, 7 and 9. So the greater element is 9, and the element, the hedge which we can take is 7. Now if I make all the elements which are greater than 7 to 7, 3, 5, 7 and then 7. This counts as one operation. Now let me take the next element. After 7, I have took 7, then I am taking 5 here. So 3, 5, but wait a second. Here I can also consider 6, but I am not considering it. Why? Because if I consider 6, it will make number of operations to be more. But instead of selecting 6, if I select the element which is present in array, then this also counts in the making of k is equal to 1. Getting the array elements is equal to k. So instead of selecting the elements which are here between these two, I'll select the next lesser element. I am selecting the first second greater element, and then third greater element, and then fourth greater element, and so on. So this is how the intuition works. Now 3, 5 and the elements which are greater than 5 are marked to 5. Now I have 3, 5, 5, 5. Now let me tell you that here I am having 3, so this is counted as 2, and here I have 3. So I'll select this 3 and make all the elements which are greater than 3 marked to 3. Now this is considered as the third operation, but if you see, are all the elements are equal to k? No. But now, as I said here, have also considered 3 and 4 even if they are not in the array. So if the array is not containing any element which is lesser than the elements, that means all the elements are equal to 3. That means all the elements are only having one element, one digit. Then I need to take the previous elements, either 2 or 1. But if I take 2, I need to convert these to 2 for 2 for one time, and it will be 4 operations. And then I'll take 1 and convert all this to 1, and it will count as 5 operations. But do I need to do this operation? No, right? So instead I can pick up 1 as hedge and change all these elements to 1. But if you see, I have 1 and 3, 5, 7, 9. Let me tell you, for 7 is one operation, for 5 is one operation, for 3 it is one operation, and for 1 it is one operation. So what are the total number of operations that I did just if k is not present in the array and it is lesser than, let me write that for you. K is not present, k is not present, but instead of writing k is not present, let me write first k is not present and k is less than minimum element, then return size, that's it, offset, not of the given array. This array might also contain elements like 3, 5, 5, 7, 9, and then 9. So I am only considering 3 for one time, 5 for one time, 7 for one time, 9 for one time. Why? Because this can be written like if I select 7, then I am changing this to 7 and 7 in only one operation. So there is no need to consider duplicates. But before that, if here, let me say, is this actually needed? K is not present. Should we need to check it? No. If K is lesser than minimum element, that means this element k is not present in the array. That's it. So if k is lesser than minimum element, return the size. This is the first intuition. But let me go here and check, right? 2, 4, 5. I just had, wait a second. I just had 2, I just had 2, 4, and then 5. Now, k is equal to 2. Then I needed only this to be changed and this to be as marked as one operation. So the second condition is if k is equal to minimum element, then return what is the size. Size is something like st dot. St means set. Don't forget st dot size minus 1. So return the size of set here. Here returning st dot size minus 1. Now, there is another example that we need to consider. Let me tell you. Let me do the same operations again and again 1 comma 2. Now the k is given as 2. Now, what I am checking here? Every time in the set, I am checking whether minimum element is greater than k. Then I am returning the size simply. But if here I have something like 3 and also 4, do I get 2 as the total elements? No, because we are only allowed to change the numbers greater than k, sorry, h. If I select any number h, then we are only allowed to to select the numbers which are greater than h and we can change them. But here, even if I select 2 and change these elements as 2 and 2, I can't select this 1. Even if I select 1, I need to change all these elements to 1. So if I have any element, so if I write this something like, if I have any element which is lesser than k, return minus 1. But do I need to check the whole array to know whether if I have any element lesser than k? No, I need to check if first element or minimum element is lesser than k, then I'll return minus 1. And let me tell you, this condition is also no need to check. If we had these two operations, so these two conditions, and we have returned these two conditions, then this will be minus 1 for sure. So if I look at this code, I am taking a set. This is something like just a 4 lines of code. Now here also you don't need to take a mini element, you just need to get this st dot begin, the first element. If k is lesser than mini, then return st.size as given in the third example. Right? If mini is equal to k, minimum element is equal to k, return st.size minus 1 as given in the first example. Then return minus 1 as given in the second example. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.